Have you ever stopped to think about what truly keeps you strong, vibrant, and connected as you step into your 60s and beyond? Maybe you've leaned on family for years, and they're still your rock. But what if I told you there are sources of support out there that can feel just as powerful, sometimes even stronger than those family ties? Welcome to Senior Health 365, where we're all about empowering you to live your best life after 60 with wisdom, energy, and joy. Today, we're diving into something special. 6 essential pillars of support that can lift you up, keep you grounded, and help you thrive in ways you might not have imagined. These aren't just ideas, they're lifelines that countless seniors are using to build richer, fuller lives. So, grab a cup of tea, get cozy, and let's explore the first few together. Picture this: you're sitting at a community center, maybe for a book club or a coffee morning, and you strike up a conversation with someone new. They share a story about a hobby they picked up in their 70s. And suddenly, you're laughing, swapping ideas, and feeling a spark you haven't felt in years. That's the magic of the first pillar: community connections. After 60, building a circle of friends and acquaintances outside your family can be a game changer. Family is wonderful, but they're often busy with their own lives, kids, jobs, you name it. A community, though, is there for you in a different way. It's the neighbor who checks in when you're under the weather, or the group at your local senior center who cheers you on when you try something new. Take Margaret, a 68-year-old from Ohio. After her husband passed, she felt lost. Then she joined a walking group at her community center. Now, she's not just walking, she's planning potlucks, sharing recipes, and even helped organize a charity event. That sense of belonging gave her a new lease on life. You can start small, too. Check out your local library for events, join a hobby class, or just say hi to someone at the park. These connections don't replace family, they add a new layer of support that's all yours, now. Let's talk about something that might surprise you as a pillar of support: your own inner strength. That's right, your personal resilience is a powerhouse. After 60, you've got a treasure chest of life experiences, and tapping into that wisdom can carry you through tough times. Think about all the challenges you've faced raising kids, navigating careers, maybe even starting over in new places. That's not just history, it's fuel for today. Resilience isn't about being tough or going it alone. It's about knowing you've got the grit to handle whatever comes your way, and being kind to yourself along the journey. For example, consider James, a 72-year-old retiree who decided to tackle loneliness by volunteering at a local animal shelter. At first, he was nervous. He hadn't worked with animals before. But he leaned on his past experiences of learning new skills and told himself, if I could figure out how to fix a car in my 20s, I can learn this. Now, he's a favorite at the shelter, and those furry friends give him purpose every day. You can nurture your resilience, too. Try journaling about a time you overcame a challenge, or set a small goal, like trying a new recipe. Each step reminds you how strong you already are. Let's shift gears to another pillar that's often overlooked, but incredibly powerful: lifelong learning. Staying curious and keeping your mind active isn't just for nits, a form of support that keeps you sharp and engaged. After 60, learning doesn't have to mean going back to school. It can be as simple as picking up a new skill, like gardening, or diving into something you've always wanted to try, like painting. Learning keeps you connected to the world and gives you something to share with others. Take Susan, a 65-year-old who always loved history but never had time to explore it. She signed up for a free online course about ancient civilizations and now hosts a monthly discussion group with friends. Not only is her mind buzzing, but she's also built new friendships around her passion. You don't need to be tech to start. Local community colleges often offer senior-friendly classes, or you can find free resources online, like tutorials on YouTube. The key is to pick something that lights you up. When you're learning, you're growing, and that growth becomes a pillar that holds you steady. These first 3 pillars, community connections, personal resilience, and lifelong learning, are just the beginning of what can support you in this vibrant chapter of life. They're about finding new ways to belong, leaning on your own strength, and keeping your curiosity alive. Stick with me, because we're about to dive into a few more that can make your days even brighter. Now that we've talked about the power of community, your own resilience, and keeping your mind curious, let's explore a few more pillars that can lift you up after 60. These next ones are all about nurturing your body, spirit, and sense of purpose in ways that feel natural and empowering. Imagine waking up each day feeling not just supported, but truly alive. Let's see how you can make that happen. One pillar that's absolutely essential is prioritizing your physical health. Now, I know what you might be thinking. And healthy eating sound like work, especially if you're dealing with aches or limited mobility. But hear me out, this isn't about running marathons or eating kale every day. It's about small, sustainable choices that make you feel good in your own skin. Think of your body as a lifelong friend who's carried you through decades. Now's the time to show it some love. Take Linda, a 67-year-old who started chair yoga after a knee injury slowed her down. At first, she thought, this won't do much. But after a few weeks, she noticed less stiffness, better sleep, and even a boost in her mood. Now, she does 15 minutes of gentle stretches every morning and feels stronger than she has in years. You can start small, too. Try a short walk around your neighborhood, swap one sugary snack for a piece of fruit, or ask your doctor about limb-packed activities that suit you. Even drinking an extra glass of water each day is a win. These little steps build a foundation of strength that supports you through every other part of your life. Next up is a pillar that's close to my heart: spiritual or emotional grounding. This doesn't have to mean religion, though for some, that's a big part of it. It's about finding something that gives you peace and helps you make sense of the world. For some, it's meditation or prayer. For others, it's spending time in nature or even listening to music that soothes the soul. After 60, life can throw curveballs. Maybe it's an empty nest, retirement, or losing a loved one. Having a way to center yourself can feel like an anchor in the storm. Consider Robert, a 70-year-old who felt adrift after retiring from his teaching job. He started spending mornings in his backyard, tending to a small garden and just listening to the birds. That quiet time became his way of reflecting and finding gratitude, even on tough days. You can find your own grounding practice, too. Try setting aside 5 minutes each day to breathe deeply and think of one thing you're thankful for. Or, if you're part of a faith community, lean into those rituals that bring you comfort. It's like giving your heart a warm hug. And that emotional strength becomes a pillar you can lean on. Another incredible source of support is giving back to others. You might think, I'm retired, I've done my part, but sharing your time or talents can be a powerful way to feel connected and purposeful. Volunteering or even small acts of kindness don't just help others, they fill your own cup, too. Think about Clara, a 64-year-old who started reading books to kids at her local library after her grandkids moved away. At first, she did it to stay busy, but soon, those weekly story hours became the highlight of her week. The kids' smiles and the parents' gratitude gave her a sense of purpose she hadn't expected. You don't need to commit hours each week to make a difference. Try something simple, like helping a neighbor with groceries, or mentoring someone younger in a skill you've mastered, like knitting or woodworking. Even sharing a kind word with a stranger can ripple outward. When you give, you're building a pillar of purpose that holds you up just as much as it lifts others. These pillars: caring for your physical health, finding emotional grounding, and giving back are like the roots of a strong tree, keeping you steady and growing. They're practical, they're doable, and they're all about making your life richer. Let's keep going, because we've got one more piece to this puzzle. That'll tie it all together. Asterisk. We've covered so much ground already: building community, tapping into your resilience, staying curious, caring for your body, finding emotional peace, and giving back. These pillars are like the foundation of a house, each one making you stronger and more connected. Now, let's talk about the final pillar that ties it all together and sends you into this chapter of life with confidence and joy. Plus, we'll wrap up with some thoughts on how to make these ideas part of your everyday life. Ready? Let's dive in. The sixth pillar is all about embracing your independence. After 60, you've earned the right to shape your days on your terms. And that freedom can be one of the most powerful forms of support. Independence doesn't mean doing everything alone. It means making choices that reflect who you are and what you want. Maybe it's deciding to travel solo for the first time, rearranging your home to suit your style, or simply saying no to things that don't spark joy. Take Evelyn, a 69-year-old, who always wanted to learn to play the guitar, but put it off for years, thinking it was too late. Last year, she signed up for lessons, bought a second-hand guitar, and now plays folk tunes for her friends at their monthly gatherings. That choice wasn't just about music, it was about claiming her time and passions. You can embrace your independence, too. Start with something small, like picking one activity each week that's just for you, maybe a new hobby, a quiet coffee date with yourself, or even reorganizing a corner of your home. These choices remind you that your life is yours to design, and that's a pillar that can carry you far. Now, let's bring it all together. These 6 pillars: community connections, personal resilience, lifelong learning, physical health, emotional grounding, and independence are like a team of friends cheering you on. They're not about replacing family, but about adding layers of strength that make you feel whole. Think of Margaret, who found her walking group, or James, who bonded with shelter dogs, or Evelyn, strumming her guitar. These aren't just stories, they're proof that you can build a life after 60 that's vibrant and full. You don't need to tackle all these pillars at once. Start with one that feels right. Maybe it's joining a local club, taking a walk, or trying a new skill. Each step you take builds a stronger foundation for your days. So, here's my challenge to you. This week, pick one thing from these pillars that excites you and give it a try. Maybe it's calling a friend to catch up, signing up for a class, or just taking a moment to breathe and reflect. You've got the wisdom, the strength, and the heart to make it happen. And if you're inspired by what we've talked about today, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Share which pillar you're going to try, or how you're already living these ideas. It's such a joy to connect with you all, and if you find this kind of content helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so we can keep sharing more ways to thrive after 60. Here at Senior Health 365, we're all about celebrating this incredible season of life with you. So, go out there, lean on these pillars, and keep shining. You've got this, and we'll see you in the next video.